So, Star Wars Republic Commando, a game I haven't even played yet. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, but I definitely want to try it out. They just recently re-released it on Nintendo Switch and on the PS4. As you see, I haven't even opened these things. These are kind of limited, so I haven't been in a rush to open them, but I definitely will, because I definitely do want to play it. So these are cool. My only thing is that I wish they would have just remade it from the ground up with like modern day graphics, but it's just a port pretty much. But you can see on the front cover the characters here, and the figure that we are getting is Boss, which is right here. Then we got Fixer. The crew is Scorch, Fixer, Sev, and Boss. They are known as the Delta Squad. So here he is. He is a GameStop exclusive for the Star Wars The Black series, and I'm pretty excited to get into this. It's just cool to get a clone Commando actually made in Black Series, and they did make an appearance in the end of the Bad Batch. So maybe we'll get the normal commandos, or you can army build those. But this guy's cool. I think Fixer just recently went up for pre-order on GameStop, so he's coming. It looks like they will be giving us the entire team, so that is very exciting. Even for me, someone that hasn't even played the game yet. Here's the side art image, pretty cool. And then on the back side, we get the read up and the number. This is from the Gaming Greats wave, so he's number 7. And it's labeled under RC-1138, in parentheses, Boss. Republic Commando introduced the Elite Delta Squad, a team of clone commandos dispatched to handle the most dangerous missions for the Republic. So overall, Boss doesn't come with much. He comes with his gun, and he comes with his little backpack. Let's get that focused so you guys can see. It is painted. It's pretty good. Got some orange paint, got some white paint, and some silver paint. So I do dig that. Always appreciate that. And it's not just a circle peg. It's like that T peg. I don't know how to explain that, but it's so it doesn't rotate around when it's pegged in on the back, which is pretty cool. And then the gun itself is not painted, but it's a pretty nice scope. And I think we've seen this before. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get that pack on his back. Check that out. You can see the peg there. And then you just plug that in. Pretty tight, snug fit. And there you go. This reminds me of the Bad Batch figures. They had packs like this. So that might make him a little back heavy, but you can see I didn't even adjust his legs and he's still standing just fine. So that's pretty dope. And then as for his gun, he can really only hold it with his right hand because that has a trigger finger while the left hand does not. So that should be able to grip in just fine. Let's see how that works out on camera. There you go. Not too bad. And he's got the side hinges too, which I do love for gun holding hands. So there it is. Alright, so here's a closer look at that visor, that helmet. Everything's painted pretty clean. It's like a metallic blue for the visor, which is cool because it actually illuminates in the show, or in the, I should say, the video game. But when we saw him in the show, it's like a light, which is pretty cool. It's not like a regular visor. So I think the best way they could have done that was like this. So I'm okay with that. And then all the other paint apps on his helmet is pretty clean. On the back side, we get some detail too. We get these pliable, soft shoulder pauldrons, painted well too. The chest and the abdominal area. Down to the legs. I guess this is supposed to be like dirt. It's just a gray paint. I don't know, it looks kind of weird. But I think it's supposed to be just dirt. Down to the feet, which are super clean, and on the back side. So, one back. So let's take a closer look at him. And this is it. This is everything the figure comes with. So let's get on to the articulation. Also worth showing this here, I just saw it. It's a little peg on his forearm, which is for nothing on this figure. I think this forearm is recycled from one of the Bad Batch figures. I remember seeing this on one of those figures. And he had a peg hole as well. I think a knife attaches there or something, but Boss does not come with anything that attaches onto that. So you just gotta kind of ignore it. So his head, or his helmet, I should say, is that very weird Super Commando awkward shape. So he's got a bigger chin. So it's not gonna allow him to look down. Of course, that's pretty much obvious. We all know that. But looking up, it's there, left and right, and he's got good enough head articulation, so you can tilt his head pretty nicely. You could do that. You can do this thing here. So I can clearly see it's a ball jointed peg, not a hinge, because a hinge does not allow you to do any of that there. So the arms will go all the way around. Remember, this is a separate piece that is just kind of linked around his arm peg, so it'll go with it like that if you hold it while you rotate. And then of course when you spread the arms up, that'll be pliable enough to the point it doesn't hinder it. But of course, if you leave it like this forever, that means it's gonna do that, you know. And if this was only for a few seconds, you could see it's going back. But if it's for days and weeks and months, it's probably gonna stay like that unless you put some warm water or cold water on there. So the biceps do not swivel, unfortunately. He doesn't have butterfly. Does he? No, he doesn't. No, he does not. No butterfly joints, no bicep swivel, but he does have these single jointed elbows that bend more than a 90-degree bend, and a swivel. So these are fine. We have a side hinge for the hand on the right hand, of course, which is where he holds his gun. And then there's a regular hinge on the left hand. As for the torso, we have a diaphragm joint that swivels left and right, goes forward and back. Pretty good, all the way around. No waist swivel, you get the swivel at the torso. Legs are going to kick forward about that far, then you got to kind of twist it to get it all the way up. And then they go in and out. We have thigh swivels. We have single jointed knees, sorry, which swivel, and they do bend more than a 90-degree bend. Then we get ankle hinges forward and back, and then we get the ankle rocker side to side. So he's not going to be no Spider-Man, but you can still get him in some decent trooper poses, nothing crazy. I'm sure you could do other things too. But I really like the fact that they used the new updated articulation for clones and for troopers, I should say, because even though it's a single jointed, not a double joint, it still bends sometimes even better than a double jointed elbow. Go back to my original Stormtrooper review and Clone Trooper review on those updated ones from the Mandalorian Black Series, and you'll see what I'm talking about, because that's where I really went in depth with those, because I really like uh, the new updated body mold. So they did give him that. And I'm pretty sure this guy's using a lot of parts from the Bad Batch. I gotta say, feels like it. I'll compare them and see if that's the case. It's not a complaint, but overall, it looks great. It looks like he's supposed to. Only thing I would say is I wish he came with a left hand where he was pointing, so we can kind of recreate like that cover pose there, have him pointing like that with the two fingers. That would be cool, but unfortunately, we do not. And I stand corrected. It is using the same exact body mold from Hunter of the Bad Batch. Entirely 95% the same. We have a different helmet, of course, and that's about it, I think. I think the helmet is the only thing that's different, aside from the paint job, of course. The backpacks are actually the same sculpt as well. You can see right there. And yeah, and the hole on his forearm is, of course, due to the fact that Hunter came with this little knife apparatus sheath here that you can plug into his forearm, and then you can slide in his knife there. But that's about it. There is your side by side between Hunter. One main difference, of course, is that Hunter has a removable helmet where you can expose his head sculpt, while Boss does not have a removable helmet that exposes any type of head. So no head. Next, we have one of my favorite clone designs. We have the 501st Clone Trooper. This is from the Archive Wave, in case you're curious. And he is actually sporting the older body mold. So it's got the double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, which sounds all nice, but it's actually very hindering. It's not as good as the new single jointed elbows and knees. So I was a little bummed out when they re-released this figure, but they left it on the original body, which I guess makes sense. The Archive Wave is basically just reissues and no changes at all, except for like paint apps and maybe the Phototech Rio on head sculpts. But I don't know. I hope they remake it into the newer body mold, like the Ahsoka Clone Troopers. Anyways, I just got off in a little tangent there, so sorry about that. But in comparison with the Clone Commando boss, he's about the same height roughly. But you can clearly see the design differences between the two models of the armor. And I'll throw him next to one more. This is the Artillery Trooper from the Mandalorian, the yellow one that was shooting off the mortars in the scene that introduced Boba Fett. So that about wraps things up on this review of Boss from Republic Commando, the video game. It does seem like we're gonna get the entire Delta Squad completed. I'm sure it'll be done by the end of the year or probably by next year. And I really hope that we'll get the regular commandos now that they did make an appearance in the Bad Batch. I'm sure we'll see them again in Bad Batch Season 2. Would be a fun little army build with those for sure. So let me know your thoughts on the figure down below in the comments section. Hit that like button please if you can. I would greatly appreciate it. It would definitely show your support. And also consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. As always everyone, take care, take it easy, and I'll catch you on the next one.